Getting up to talk.
Is that it? Turns red. Red.
Good morning, Big City Rotary.
It is.
All right, I know that Ralph told me who the invocation, oh, okay, James, here you go.
So if you will, please bow your head. So gracious Heavenly Father, as we gather here today with Rotarians and guests, we pray that we're ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens in the community. We're thankful for this day you've given us, for its blessings, its opportunities, and its challenges. May we be challenged to give our best always, and be assured always of your presence. Now bless this food. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Four-way test on the things we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
All right, so Sergeant at Arms report.
All right, good morning. We've got a few guests visiting Rotarians this morning, but first I'll let the host introduce the guest, Dr. Guy Rabondo.
Stand up, Steve. This is my buddy Steve Gallahan. A lot of you have probably either referred to him or been patients of his, or your family has. He's with Piedmont Oral Surgery. He's a great surgeon. He's got 4 daughters and a wife, and they live Sedgefield. So trying to get him to have some interest in our club and Rotary in particular.
And we have 3 visiting Rotarians. We have Mr. Carl Ashby from Greensboro. We've got Mr. George Arnold from Crescent. And we have Mr. John Redmond from Greensboro.
So those who are guests and visitors, it is a club assembly week, so when we get to that portion of the meeting, you are free to adjourn, or you're free to stay and talk about membership. So the football pool, how people do, Walt?
Oh my gosh. It was an exciting week for the football pool. As always. I'm getting it together right now. I actually left the office, had to go by there early this morning to pick things up. Who believes in karma? Okay. Last week, Reverend Graves played football pool for the first time. Don't tell anybody. I told him it's not really gambling because you're not putting anything into the pot. He almost won the Zero Award. He was very close. I think these two guys were helping each other because our man Steve got the 0 bar. Whoa! 10 correct. Okay, it was really going to be close until Steve came in there. Okay, Mom finished with 15 correct. Mike Allen, Mike Conrad, Guy Rabondo, Rob Edge, Justice, Dale, all got 15 correct, which is not bad out of 20. Where we had? Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. Dennis Newman came in with 16. I thought that was going to be great, and that was good. But like I said, if you believe in karma, somebody brought me a great prize, today to give out next time. So listen, can you guess who brought that? This year's winner, or this week's winner, with a cup donated by Tony. Who am I? James Pig. Congratulations, buddy. Tony blew my mind earlier. With his background, I asked him, who do you like in the Ryder Cup? And he said, what's that? Nearly had a heart attack. So anyway, seats are on the table. While I've got the floor, so I want to make another announcement. The Kiwanis Rotary Golf Challenge, October 15th. Anybody wants to have a 2-man team, let me know. They sent me an entry form. I cannot play, but if you'd like to go, I've got an entry form for you.
So,
Fill out the forms.
yeah, if you're feeling competitive, I think last year it ended up as a tie. usually between Rotary and the Kiwanis thing. So, if it feels competitive and you want to go out and go against the Kiwanians. So birthdays and anniversaries. Good. Brian, we're so glad to have you back.
Me too. Tom Sears, birthday on the 21st. Memory anniversary is Mike Swain, celebrating 13 years today. Wedding anniversary is John and Kathy Nozick today, 32 years. Happy anniversary, John. Stancil, to my wife, the 23rd. I don't know how many years it's not on there.
Right, thank you. So announcements. So Steve, did you want to say anything about Project Rebuild?
Sure. I saw that, thank you. So, first of all, again, thank you for those that came out last weekend to Big Sweep. That was probably the hardest cleanup job we've ever had to do. I mean, we had like, between 16 of us, 25 pounds of cigarette butts. And that was it. But, no, so anyways, thank you again for everybody. It always makes a difference, even if it seems like it's not a lot. It is appreciated for sure. But not this coming weekend, but next weekend, October 3rd and 4th is Big Sweep. I'm actually going to the house today.
Project Rebuild.
I'm still, well, there'll be a big sweep at Project Rebuild, is what I meant. The Project Rebuild, it's on Comstock Lane. I'm going to the house today to do our initial house visit, and should be a pretty straightforward project. Of course, like Tom Sears has been asking for several weeks, we're not sure yet about the some of the boards underneath. We'll have to just look at it. But there's already sent out the sign-up genius yesterday. Already a good number of people signing up. Appreciate it. We will need all hands on deck though, because we need to get it done that first weekend, because the following weekend, of course, we have pig stock. So everybody come on out. We need at least like 12 to 15 a day to get it done. We're going to do one side one day, the other side the next. If there are boards that need replaced, it's going to make it that much harder. We're going to need hands on deck. So please, if you can, Friday we already have several that have signed up. Only a couple on Saturday right now, but definitely please get on there. If you need me to send that out again, I just sent it yesterday. Sign up, let us get it done. It's going to be good. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. I will say, I think James Edwards gets the prize for the most unusual piece of trash. If you
Okay.
Yeah, found
With something about that long running out from under.
Man, what kind of truck?
What kind of party?
And we were lucky to have Kelly's puppy join. I guess he's not so much a puppy anymore, but his dog was out there helping us pick up trash too. So let's see, Chip, did you say anything about pig stock, either for this weekend or the actual event?
We are having a practice cook out at my house Saturday. It will run from roughly 6 o'clock in the morning because we have to adjust our time a little bit until maybe 7 or 8 o'clock at night. We expect to eat food. Yes,
I'm
sir.
starting to think that there's some sort of other motivation for you doing this pig stock. Is it the second test run?
There's one every weekend at his house. We have an interesting thing. Steve called me the other day and he said somehow the district is supporting a group of people from Russia, from Moldova, that are coming here, and could we invite 6 Moldovans and their translator to come to the cook Saturday and see North Carolina barbecue cooking? I said, sure. So I agreed, sent off the email, everybody came. About 20 minutes later, says, I get an email back from somebody else. Thank you very much, but by the way, there are the 5 families, including the children. It'll be a total of 21 people. Yeah, it's going to be great. And we'll just spread it a little further.
We all need to bring side dishes.
Everybody, anybody that comes, please bring the side dish. We got the meat covered. We should have somewhere in the neighborhood of about 40 pounds of barbecue one way or another, and that's enough for 80 people. If we get 80 people, we'll just have to send out and get something else. So anyway, that's right. All right, pig stock. I got my first check today for a donation to pig stock. 2 ways to win at pig stock. Cook great barbecue. We got that covered. Other clubs think they're coming after us. We're just going to do what we did last year. Win. okay? That's all there is to it. Just gonna win. So, got my first check from Mike Andrus. People's Choice is dollars in a bucket. Got a check, so if you can't come but you wanna help, just give me a check or give Dan a check made out to children of Vietnam. We'll put that in, that'll help us vote. Mike, thank you very much, a very nice donation. So, great idea, he could not be there, but he did want to help out. So, pig stock, if you want to come out and eat some pig, try some pig before you actually come to the event on the 11th, come on. And the 11th, we're going to have a big time. Dan, we got 2 bands.
2 bands,
Beer.
beer, it's gonna turn into Woodstock.
Well, maybe not quite.
Gonna have to have more than beer.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, it's going to be a big time, and we need people. We want people to come. That's the attendance is bigger than anything else. But if you can't come, we will accept your check.
All right, so yeah, Dan, you said the billboards are getting a lot of
Yeah,
attention.
Dan gave us some billboard space, we're getting a lot of play on this. And this will be the last year I get to live in my neighborhood. It's fun.
All right, any other announcements? All right, Happy Dollar.
Happy dollars, all right. And let me just say this. If your name was in the newspaper for any reason, that it falls under the $2 rule. So this is a fair warning, people whose name might have been in the paper, they're thinking, well, that wasn't any, it was. Okay, so, I haven't been said, thank you. And Ashley, you got your money.
I wasn't in the newspaper, which is probably a good thing, but. My happy dollar is for John Nosek. And 2 weeks ago at the meeting, I'm like casually mentioning that my iPhone 4S keeps dropping calls, and so I'm thinking about getting the 6. And I think most people know me that I know that I'm probably not the queen of technology. I'm not someone that has to have the newest technology. I was talking to someone else, John says, my son Tyler works for Verizon, I'll have him give you a call. By 3 days later, I have my new iPhone 6 ordered. And not only that, I went and picked it up on Saturday morning, so it was like the day after the big release. And I met his son at a Verizon store at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was the only one there. So he could set my phone up. When I saw the line of people outside the Apple store with the barricade and the security, I was like, I'm cool, I got it, I'm ready. And now when I bring it out, people are like, is that the new phone?
Can you show us how it bends?
I know.
I have the normal size phone, so I'm actually very happy with my phone. I really love it. Doesn't have balls. Thank you, Josh.
I'm sorry, you can't talk.
You're part of mine now.
I'm sure I am.
That's fair, that's a happy 5.
Yeah.
There you go, Bobby.
Everybody thought basketball season started early, 70-41. He said. Christmas is what
Nice little reminder, Bob.
the skies, Carolina blue, it's not, and literally here is the sunset. It was a light shade of purple. But in the true 4-way test, Buster, we know is UNC fan, he said he wished he was a Pirate.
Oh,
He's a Rotarian up to the very end.
Yesterday, my company, Illuminating Technologies, was asked by the National Federation of Independent Businesses, NFIB, to host an event that they were going to endorse Speaker Tom Tillis for the U.S. Senate. And we were fortunate enough that they came and had a lot of media coverage, and Governor Jeb Bush from Florida called up and said, hey, I want to be there. And so he came up as well. So we had a nice big event yesterday. It's really about NFIB supporting small businesses and the work that they do. It's not, it's not Republican, it's not Democrat. It's about who does the most for small business, and that's what it was about. We really appreciated that opportunity.
John.
Well, I'll own up to having my name in the newspaper yesterday. But anyway, I would be remiss if I didn't make it a special day for my wife today, since it's our anniversary, so that's my happy dollar.
All right. Fantastic.
Been gone the last couple of weeks. We've had some pretty lengthy jury trials in Charlotte and over in Durham last week, and last week was special because we try to make people feel good about their jury service when we tee them up when they first come in. Nobody wants to be there. It's inconvenient for everybody. last week I got to tell them a couple of special things. First was that last Wednesday was Constitution Day, the 17th. And that is the anniversary of the Constitutional Convention of 1787, and we remind folks that North Carolina didn't pass and ratify the Constitution initially because it didn't have a Bill of Rights, and one of those Bills of Rights, of course, was the 7th Amendment preserving the right to jury trial. The second thing I got to remind people about of import was a special bonus last week when folks were coming out and saying, look, we appreciate it's inconvenient, we're going to minimize that inconvenience for you. They'll come up and say, well, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom and I don't have child care. I said, well, thank you. Stay-at-home moms make great jurors and we really appreciate it. Well, I'm a small business person and my business can't survive without me. I said, you'd be surprised how motivated they will be knowing that you're fulfilling your civic duty. Thank you so much. And oh, by the way, you're not the only one that has to do jury duty this week. I have to postpone our trial tomorrow because I have to go home to Greensboro. Pulled out my jury sentence.
Good job.
I'm sure you're going to get picked.
I didn't know that. It was a nice moment. That's right.
Always a project.
I love jury duty. You can go in there, nobody can call you. It's great.
That's my $2 being quoted in the Business Journal a couple weeks ago for the renovation that we just finished at the Sheraton. We just did a $30 million renovation of the property, if you didn't know that. And the article basically talked about the hospitality market and the convention market and all the sports groups and the play that the GAC has played into that. And if you haven't paid attention or seen, Greensboro really is becoming the second Indianapolis for sports groups. I mean, it's becoming one of those things where if you're an AAU group or a softball or a volleyball, track and field or swimming, you're looking at Greensboro first before you're looking at anybody else in the country. So I feel good about that. Hospitality market in Greensboro is doing pretty good, so support it where you can.
Wonder why?
Tom.
Our Youth of Christ Brunswick Stew, I'm going to be cooking Saturday the 4th. I normally wash vegetables on the 3rd, so I'm not sure. No, we got somebody washing vegetables, Sarah. Anybody that's had it knows it's as high quality Brunswick stew as is on the planet, and I'm not being cocky, but I'm just giving you the facts. I've been working on it 20 years. I took the butter out of it and put our smart balance in it 10 years ago when my brother had 4 bypasses. So seriously, we take it very seriously. We're going to be cooking about 1,650 quarts. I'm going to help on the roof on Friday while somebody's washing vegetables for me. Hopefully we don't need to do too much wood. And then we're going to be cooking. So it's $8 a quart. Anybody wants to get it?
Okay. This is a happy dollar for Don Tower. We had our host painted by him once again, and I was so impressed with how quickly it went and how good a job they did. So thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Don?
Okay, I'm gonna be quick, but this Judge Hassel reminded me of a story when I worked for Chip's brother Griffin. Back in the 80s, I get my first call to jury duty. Well, Griffin owned a small carpinteria shop, so he was a small businessman thing. So I go to this, sit there all day. I get picked to be on the jury. Well, go back, call Griffin, tell him he's, damn, you know, because I mean, again, he's a small guy and I'm the only employee there. So the next day we get it was a doctor malpractice thing. So it ended up being a 7-day trial. So they made me, not only did I have to stay for the trial, but they made me foreman of the jury, and Griffin was about to go out of his mind because I wasn't there, you know, the only employee of the thing, but that just reminded me of all that civil duty that you got to do. By the time I got back to this man, he was like Chip, you know, a little all 3 of them stand up and but I'm talking about, he was mad. God, he was mad.
He got over it.
Yeah.
All right, happy $5 today. I don't know if a lot of you remember, you know, several years ago, I came up with this pin-free learning project to put iPads in the hands of children with autism in the public schools. Now everybody's got tablets, so I guess we were kind of leading the charge on that. But that segued into the idea to go a little bit bigger. And over the last few months, I haven't been real vocal about it because it's, frankly, I didn't know if we could do it. But we pressed submit on our application for a charter school on Tuesday to open a school for high-functioning children with autism, right here in Greensboro. It'll be off of Merritt behind, I believe it's Hunter Hills Church.
Oh, yeah.
Off of Merritt. They have a school there.
Well, I could definitely speak to one of the worst ways to end a beach vacation with your family is having your 5-month-old son go through emergency intestinal surgery to keep him alive. So the first dollar is for Brunswick Community Hospital, New Hanover Regional, and Chapel Hill Hospital for clinical staff and surrounding him. And the second dollar is, I think a few weeks ago somebody stood up and kind of issued a challenge to, for the group to support each other as a family. And for those of you who reached out and those of you who asked about my son, it was just, thank you. So.
Hey, we went out to dinner last night. Originally it was going to be with Rachel and Steve Meisterberg. She's on leave of absence. But then Steve and I ran into each other. Oh, you want that?
Yeah.
Ran into each other at a political event. And that's not my happy dollar, but it was great. We met some nice people and some national celebrities and things like that out at Blake's place. But that's not my happy dollar.
Sounds like you're on the first.
Okay, all right. So anyway, there you go, Buster, because I'm probably overdue. So now I got a couple more minutes, right? So I drank too much red wine, which caused me to wake up at 2:30, and I never really got back to sleep. That's not my happy dollar. But 5 minutes early, I said, I might as well turn the damn alarm off and not wake Carrie up. So I'll roll out of bed at 5:30, and my foot went right into, I thought I heard that dog saying something to me. The dog puked. Right there, my left foot, right in. That's right. So while I'm cleaning that up, Wilder gets up about 6 o'clock to start some homework. He comes down the stairs, and he steps in the same thing at the bottom of the steps. And by the time we get all that cleaned up, we then have a plumbing malfunction. And so he doesn't know how to fix that, so I had to fix that. And then he tells me about his truck. That's not the happy dollar either. His truck overheated while we were at dinner last night and didn't hear the phone call, so he thought I'd let it cool off for a minute, and he got it to start again, so he drove it another 300 yards before it overheated the second time. He'd forgotten the primary rule. If truck overheats, do not do anything, call for help. He did call for help. And it managed to coast into the driveway. He told me this morning, well, it managed to coast in the driveway, but it won't crank, it won't turn. I'm afraid I got a seized engine. So, and that's not my happy dollar. I'm just damn glad to be here.
Wow.
You gotta call a plumber, a mechanic.
Well, some granddad always said reminded me a lot of Rotary. He always said, when a motivated group of people join together, they can turn problems into opportunities, especially drinking problems.
It's going to be good for the vet, the plumber, and the mechanic.
All right, so yes, guests and visitors may want to excuse themselves now. We'll move into the club assembly portion of the meeting. Did any of our visitors buy raffle tickets though? We need to do
This
raffle
one did.
first. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually
Oh,
do.
no, you bought this right.
No. All right, so we're going to start with a little bit on the fundraiser. Dan's going to try and answer any and every question that's out there, hopefully at this point.
Again.
Well,
I have a meeting with the chief of police and the mayor after this to integrate UNCG's and Greensboro Police's camera network. Like I know how to do that.
Whoops.
Well, everybody, there's fundraiser information on the table. I sent it out last night, trying to answer questions that have come up. Chris, where we're on the raffle, how are we doing?
All right, raffle sales. Wait for it. All right, so yeah, so we're getting quite a handful of people that have sold all 15. Guys, if you are able to sell the 15 that fast, you're obviously really good at sales. Please get some more raffle tickets. You know, another pack of 10 can easily be sold if you guys have sold 15 that fast. So far, Chuck Langdon, Jack Reynolds, Pete Gursky, Mike Andrews turned in his, Bobby Christensen turned in 15. Ralph Jones is about sold all his. Steve Wirtz is giving you a run for your money, so you better watch out for Steve. He's that man's a sales machine, so he's sold quite a few at this point. 23 in hand, and he said he sold some more, and he's got some more tickets out there as well. So he's throwing down the gauntlet. All right, and I've still got I've got Stephanie out there, and I'm not going to quite say how many we've sold, but we'll
Holding out for the iPad.
Yeah. We're going to surprise you on that. But yeah, guys, we got a long way to go. The good news is we have a little bit of time to get there, but I'd like to see a really big push over the next couple of weeks. And seriously, let's pick up some more tickets when you sell your 15. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. I don't see Sarah this morning. Sarah is still collecting auction items. Last I spoke with her, she had about $9,000 retail.
Wow.
We're shooting for 20. Airport Rotary is 45 members, and they did 18,000 at their raffle at their auction last year. And I know they did better than that this year.
Well, Pete helped you with that this morning. He brought in just an unbelievably good package from Valentine for round the golf and a night as well, right? So yeah,
that won't stink. That'll be all right.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So please continue to get to let Sarah know what you found and what you can do for the raffle. We have 4 revenue streams to this. The other is event ticket sales and sponsorships. Our goal for the event was to try to get the sponsor package to cover the entire cost of the event, where everything else would be to the bottom line. We are really close to that. If you know somebody that wants to sponsor, if you've been thinking about sponsoring, we really need to nail that down this week. We are $3,000 sponsorships. That's 2 platinum sponsors or 6 gold sponsors or 4 silver sponsors away from having the sponsors be able to cover the whole event. And as I say, that will give us all the revenue from the raffle, from the auction, and from the ticket sales for the event. Erica, have you looked at ticket sales for the event?
Yeah, so far it's just me, you, and Chris partying with the purpose. Yeah, so sales are down.
We've got the sponsors packages right now represent about 70 of the tickets. So we've got 240-ish tickets left to sell.
Yeah, we had a couple of people sign up today for two tickets each, so we're about at 240 now.
Well,
left to sell.
So how do my guests pay for their tickets?
The guests can pay for the tickets 2 ways. They can sign up, or they can give you a check and I'll hand you tickets. Okay. So if you want to cover their tickets and be reimbursed, that's fine. You can do it on the Google document. If you want them to just give you a check, you can do it that way. This sort of ties into membership too. This is a really good opportunity to expose some folks to what we do. What we need to do as a club to fill the event is to come, bring our spouse, and 1 other couple, and we'll have it. We don't need 1,600 people here. We need 325 people to make this work. If we do this the way we want to do this, this will be a $60,000 or $70,000 to the bottom line event. This will put us well in the black, and be a good year for us. So having said that,
Well, I just wanted to say, it literally took me maybe, I don't know, less than a minute to complete the online thing to purchase my tickets. Chris, what was the experience like for you?
Oh yeah, it was super easy.
Yeah, it's super easy. So just click on the link, it'll take you right to it. The drop-down buttons, you select how many tickets you need, and all's well. I'll send it out again today.
everybody.
Get the alcoholic tickets too.
Yeah, the alcoholic tickets are the best. The non-alcoholic tickets.
Not so much.
If you have a question, if you think of something, if you want to sponsor, just see me, get it signed up. Thank you much.
All right, so let's talk about membership. So we all know that Rotary has a goal for every club, and our district does as well, that we end up the year +1, which means that we grow by at least one member over the previous year. And that year that they count that is actually April 1 to the next April 1. And so this past April 1, we were at 70 members on April 1st. Since that time, unfortunately, we have lost 6 members and we have added 1. So we lost Kim Williams, we lost Zen, we lost Rachel Meisterberg, we lost Glenn Earlis, Tony Rollins, and Mike Cook from the club, and we added Sean Roberts. So Sean, we are so excited.
Hey, Sean. Apparently it's good at 86 men.
And we have a number of people who are out on leave of absence who we hope will come back, but we know that doesn't always happen. So Kevin Barth is out on leave of absence. We certainly hope Kevin will come back, but you know, he's got a young family and a business to run by himself. You know, Beth is going out on leave of absence. We have Randy Sharon out. Michael is out on a leave of absence for her wedding, but also her job has moved to Raleigh. So again, we hope these people will be back, but there's a possibility a number of them might not come back. So in essence, we're estimating we need to bring in 10 new members before April 1.
Or the first time in 16 years, we won't make a goal this year.
That's true.
That's the key.
That's the deal breaker of the goal.
We have been a gold club since the inception of it, 17 years ago.
That's right.
So I think the alarm bells, as you said, should be out. If we're going to add the members to be a +1, we got to start today.
Yep,
We can't wait until the first of the year.
Patrick Tillman, or not Patrick, Jeff Tillman, didn't he?
He's in the pipe.
Right, that was sent out yesterday, and, you know, Chip, I know you asked for additional information. I know Sarah asked Dennis, who's around somewhere, so we'll get out the additional information about him, yeah. So yeah, I know a number of you have brought guests here recently. What can we do to, convert them into members? But I do want to have Dennis talk a little bit about the role of a sponsor, and then we'll actually at each table then kind of break into groups to brainstorm, who is it each of us can bring as a guest? Who are companies that we can target who we think, should be sponsoring Rotarians in the community? And really, start planning now, start acting now, each and every one of us. I'd like every one of us to identify a guest to bring to either a Rotary Club meeting, or we have Pig Stock coming up. That's a great opportunity. We have the fundraiser coming up. So many, many opportunities to bring people to experience Rotary, so we can start bringing in these members that we're going to need. So Dennis, you want to talk to us about sponsors, being a sponsor?
Sure. I think there's kind of 2 steps. One is making sure that we, first of all, make sure we're explaining to new members what's involved here. So I just wrote down just a few reminders, and then the second step is, once we get them here, what's the eventual responsibility for the sponsor? And by the way, we may have another person, Cheryl Davids. I made contact yesterday and sent an application, so we're working on it. So some of the things that I wrote down here, just kind of what you need to be talking about, and one of them is the 4-way test. I don't know how many members here have invited somebody but said, here's what the 4-way test is, and this is what we live by. This is what Rotary's about. I'd definitely be talking about the 4-way test, and if you got the little card, just, hey, read this. This is what the start of Rotary is, and this is what we're going to expect from you if you're going to join Rotary. Service of us self. Be sure the application, there's Part A and Part B. Part A is for the applicant and Part B is for the sponsor. So when you get somebody, I can just email that to you. You just got to let me know when you have it, and then we can start the process very quickly. Explain the Triple Crown requirements, specifically Paul O'Hara, a sustaining member, and being a benefactor. That's very important that they know that. And again, some of the literature I got covers this, and it's kind of like you're going to be able to send this to somebody and they're going to get a full picture of this. Explain the attendance requirements to them. And it's not about people required to be here, it's about required to be here to get to know each other, to socialize. to become fellow Rotarians and make that clear to them. We have attendance things, and you know, we try to be the #1 in attendance, but that's not our goal. Our #1 goal is to get everybody here so we can get to know each other better. And when you do it one day a week, it takes time to do that. So we want to make sure that we explain that. So now we've done all this hard work, and we got somebody on board. And the key here, and this is a kind of a alarming statistic, because we're in our board meeting, internationally, Rotary's turning over new people within 18 months. And that's a retention issue, and we've got to pay close attention to it. So when we get into the red badge, blue badge, there's a series of things that have to be completed. The sponsor is going to be responsible to make sure that their person gets through that and gets through it as quickly as possible. The sponsor will be responsible for even making sure they get on a committee. I mean, you can't just bring them in and just let them sit here. You've got to be very active. You got to invite them to 505s, and you know what? 505 could be an interesting way to introduce somebody to Rotary. You know, I mean, but you know, and then you go one more step further. You're going to be that person's buddy for Rotary life. You know, if that person, and Kevin Barth comes to mind, you know, his person that brought him in the club reached out to him right away. And we need to be very cognizant of the fact that it doesn't stop here, or start here and doesn't stop here. If you're a person that you sponsored has a life crisis or something good even happens to them, you got to be aware of that and be the first one to congratulate them. So I look at this as, if we're going to have retention, then we've got to have more involvement with the people we're bringing in and not just letting them sit here. Yes?
I just want to underscore a couple of your points. I don't was in your year, Kelly, but we used to run a really good orientation meeting that really, you know, we got a bunch of people together and went over all the stuff the club does and what's expected of them. I think we need to start something like that again, the social atmosphere. And the other thing, I've been a big proponent of this for a long time, is we should pre-schedule and publish a 5:45 meetings. A couple of times a month. They should be scheduled in advance, communicate them, because a lot of people can't get to meetings, but it's a great opportunity to get together even for 10 or 15 minutes. That's my 2 points.
Yeah, the only point I'd make, I agree with what you're saying, but when we're recruiting somebody, I think that we should make it known that we're a sweat equity club. I'll go back to what Kelly says. We should be talking about the great things that we're doing in the community and around the world. That's a draw for what. That's the reason we really want them in the Rotary. It's the good things that we're doing, and we're a club that, in all the districts, we exemplify that. We really need to put our name out there as a club that really gets involved in the community.
And I want to second hand that, obviously being over the service arena, that's something I think that gets missed in this orientations is the real expectations of what it takes when we hire, when we're hired out by a project rebuild to do a roof, and 4 people can't do the damn thing. And, they'll be out there 3 weekends.
And just, we do discuss that, but maybe not enough depth and with enough.
It certainly can't be. It can't be.
So, I mean, other ideas, comments, suggestions? What?
I have a question. So someone like Glenn Earlis, where they're transferring from one club to another, that counts as a loss for us? Does it count as a gain for the other club?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
So we need to start recruiting from other clubs.
She'll let those guys. 4 other clubs cooking at Pinkstock. Just take anyone you want.
Somebody else have a comment or question?
I'd just like to say that we're probably one of the most decorated and recognized Rotary clubs in the world. We don't realize it because we're just doing what we do, and we don't think it's all that remarkable because it's the kind of people that we are. But when you look at the awards this club has and the things that we get, we've won every award that Rotary offers any Rotary club in the world every year, and we have never missed. If we don't get 10 people, 9 people, we're gonna miss for the first time in 16 years. So we need to pull together, just like we would to put a roof on a house, or to cook a pig, or to invite Bernie to come out, Bernie the pet pig to come out, or whatever the project might be. We need to pull together, and we need to find some good, solid Rotarians who will help us with this. We have fun doing it. Okay, that's why it doesn't seem to be so remarkable, okay? There's no other Rotary club in the world. How many Rotary clubs, Mike?
In the world?
Yeah. Is there, or was it 1.8 million Rotarians? And
1.2 million.
1.2 million Rotarians, okay? We're 60 and we're at the top of the heap. We really don't want to screw up at this point because because of things that happen. I mean, nobody left because they didn't like Rotary. People moved, jobs changed, all that kind of stuff. That's not our problem, okay? But we do now, for the first time since I've been here 10 years, we need to recruit. We've never had to recruit. We've always had a stack of people back there, and we've always helped every other club recruit. And all the recruiting parties that we've had, recruiting meetings that we've had, we have helped and referred people to other clubs. This time, we need to recruit for ourselves and help out, and we have a heck of a thing going on here. Why wouldn't somebody, if they had any interest, want to come back and get to the community through us? So, but we all need to make an effort to bring some guests.
One of the things we did, I think it was the year Tim Albertson was president, was an open house. And everybody, invited some potential members in. We had a real knockout program. We gained some phenomenal members, myself being one of them. I know that, I guess Tom Allen was in that group. I was in that group. I'm not sure who else was. But that might be an opportunity to expose people to.
So is that at a regular meeting, or
It
is
was
it?
a regular meeting, and I think we went a little bit longer.
So Dan and, is it no, when do we have the next membership meeting scheduled? Do you have one in?
It's 1 a quarter, I'm pretty sure it's November.
Okay, so we'll.
It's on the calendar.
So what we'll do is, for November, we'll make that an open house. Everybody bring a guest for that. And then we can have materials.
I don't know, I haven't looked at the calendar to see who we have speaking, but maybe we could actually pick one and get the bigger room. That somebody, I don't know who we've got on the docket to speak, but maybe pick one that's kind of.
Well, if we're gonna do, just throwing something out there, if everybody is able to bring a guest, do we even want to have a speaker? Should we not just have that time to intermingle and kind of get to know what Rotary is? I don't know.
Sort of a short presentation on the Rotary Club.
We can brainstorm.
I think the point of having a speaker is because that is kind of, we do that at every
What we
meeting.
do.
And, yeah, I mean,
Let them see the club as we are,
But we'll target that November one, and we'll work on getting a really great speaker.
Have you got any good speakers coming in?
Nope.
We
We have
I did it a
excellent
while ago.
speakers coming. Mike Conrad will come.
So again, back to what Mike was saying, I encourage all of you to know what your Rotary elevator speech is. What is it that you would say to a prospective member or people that you just meet who ask what Rotary is about and why are you a Rotarian? So know your elevator speech. Identify, a guest to bring. So, I'm going to take a friend to the Women in Rotary recruitment event in October. Next week, someone who wants to transfer from the Alamance Club to a Greensboro Club is going to come visit us next week. So I'll be hosting them. So, I'm trying to do my part. I ask that everybody try and do your part. And when we have guests come, let's make sure they feel very welcome. Make sure we're all, saying hello to them, greeting them, letting them know who we are, what we do, and that we want to see them back.
What is our limit on the number of people we can have in the club and still be at?
Since they made this room bigger, I know our limit is higher. Do you remember, Bobby, what they can do now?
They can do, actually this room here, through those doors back there, we could put the buffet in the next room. So we have,
We could go to 80, couldn't we?
we took 80 people, we went through that, either here or when we're upstairs, so the room is not limiting at all, especially since they've redone it.
Since they redid it.
Yeah.
Of course, Michael Bryant said they redid it, they renovated for us for $2 million.
Yeah.
That's when they went up on their bids.
That's right.
Other questions, ideas, suggestions?
I'll put my hand up and say I'll bring one new member in, if somebody else will back.
I have a neighbor right up the street that would be perfect, and I've been intending to bring him, and this is, the most I need to do it.
You'll never get my brother out of bed that early.
We got a classification issue, we already got one of those.
So Bobby, one of my prospects is your neighbor, so I want, let's tag team.
Wait, I'm talking about Jim Brandon.
No, I'm talking about Frank Ruffco.
Oh, Frank, you know him, yeah.
Yeah.
You know Frank. Jim lives a little farther up.
Are there any occupation limitations at this point, or is it just open for anything?
We don't want any more preachers.
Our classification.
We don't want any more preachers. As long as they're not a preacher,
We need
right?
another stand-in to say the blessing.
Creatively about occupations and how those are classified, but, you know, certainly you can always talk to Dennis about that, but, you know, I don't know that we really want to make that a huge barrier. If they're going to be a great Rotarian, then we want them.
Do you ever get a question about your pen? I mean, almost every time I wear a Rotary print, somebody asks.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is a great way to promote Rotary is, you know, wear your pin. So we may have, you know, I've done that in other clubs where, you know, at least for a month, everybody wear your pin every Thursday, but we really should just every Thursday be wearing our pin, if not every day. So.
I want to say this about that. Whenever I'm wearing a sport coat, that pin's on the lapel. It has saved me a very collectible pocket knife at the airport in Chicago. TSA guy, I realized that I had not packed it. My bag was already gone, nowhere to put it. And so I approached the TSA guy with a coat and a tie on, not with a badge and a blue shirt. And his father was president of a Rotary Club. He took the pocket knife and FedExed it to me. It actually got to my office before I did. Okay, I had gotten a discount wearing a Rotary golf shirt at a jewelry store in Maine or Vermont, wherever we were on vacation, and I got a free fifth of liquor at the Jim Beam Distillery because I was wearing a Rotary shirt.
I think that was a frequent shopper gift.
There's nothing wrong with wearing that Rotary shirt, and I'll tell you this. That Rotary guy,
Right.
there are probably
Is that a
300
positive or
people
negative?
out in Tahoe, California that know me as that Rotary guy, but we help people with jumper cables, we helped other runners, we clean people's feet. Those people had no idea what Rotary was. They had no idea what Rotary was. And I got a lot of questions. Now, I won't do us a bit of good here in Greensboro, but out there in California, next year Rotary will be a sponsor of the Tahoe 200. I can just about guarantee you, because they have a big Rotary club out there in Tahoe City, California. Well, it's not big, but it's prominent. So.
All right, so I think we all understand the situation, we all understand the need, we all understand, you know, our role in it. So we are a little over time here today. So,
Cut her off.